We have a report to break down for the New York Jets. As we all know, we are in our bye week, but the NFL trade deadline is this Tuesday. So there's a lot of trade stuff that is swirling around the NFL world. We talked about the Breece Hall report yesterday on the channel. Make sure you guys check that video out if you want to learn about Breece Hall. This video, as you can tell from the title and the thumbnail, is going to be about defensive tackle Quinnen Williams, because we have an interesting report that kind of shows us exactly what the stance is for the New York Jets. So before we get into it, make sure you guys hit the thumbs up button if you enjoy the content. Comment down below if you want the Jets to trade away Quinnen or keep him, because I feel like a lot of Jets fans have different opinions, of course, in the comment section across social media. So I'd love to hear what Jets fans have to say in the comment section. If you're new to the channel, consider subscribing here to Jets Media. So the thing I want to get into first is the trade that already went down. Really shows you the type of approach that Aaron Glenn and Darren Mougey has with this football team. Trading away Michael Carter II to bring in a wide receiver in John Mechie III. That was the one trade that I definitely felt like was the most likely. If you asked me before the deadline, like last week, Richie, who do you think the Jets are going to trade the most? Michael Carter II easily was the guy I was going to say, because somebody replaced him in Jarvis Brownlee Jr., and he's been playing really good football. And I love that the Jets got a wide receiver in return, and it's not just a draft pick. I think John Mechie is a young guy that's trying to find his footing in the league, and he's going to get his opportunity to show what he's capable of with this Jets team, because we all know the Jets need help at wide receiver, even though without Garrett Wilson, the Jets were able to get their first win of the season. Tyler Johnson stepped up to the plate. A lot of guys stepped up, but hey, I think John Mechie's going to get his opportunity, be like a 9-game tryout, as he's a restricted free agent. So the Jets do have some rights to bring him back if he does show any type of promise this season. Now, that was the trade that went down yesterday. Could the Jets be trading Quinnen Williams? Now, breaking down the report from Jordan Schultz, I'm going to play the clip that he came out with, because it really goes to show you what the New York Jets are considering right now when it comes to their All-Pro, Pro Bowl, really talented captain in Quinnen Williams. So take a listen in to Jordan Schultz and what he's hearing.
The New York Jets finally won a game, but that will not stop the calls from coming in inquiring about some of their very valuable players. Now, there are a number of teams who badly want and need interior defensive line help, and a name that's garnered a ton of interest, All-Pro defensive tackle Quinnen Williams. Now, the Jets don't want to trade him, but they are willing to listen, considering there's so much interest in interior defensive line and so many young, aggressive GMs around the league. The idea of a team blowing away the Jets with an offer is at least feasible and one to watch.
So as you heard from Jordan Schultz there, the Jets are not actively trying to shop Quinnen Williams, but if there's teams calling, which it seems like there are, they're going to pick up the phone and listen to some offers. Now, I think the Jets' stance is pretty simple. They do not want to trade away Quinnen Williams, like he mentioned, unless there is an offer that is too hard to refuse. And I think the only offer that the Jets should consider is a first-round pick. Anything less than a first-round pick, the Jets should hang up the phone. You do not trade away Quinnen for a second-round pick. You do not trade him away for a third and a 5. If there's a team like maybe the Dallas Cowboys, who does have 2 first-round picks, we know that they were interested in Quinnen in the Micah Parsons trade. They called the Jets asking the Jets, are you interested in Micah Parsons? They were interested in Quinnen Williams. The Jets said no. And I feel like if Dallas, for example, who is desperate for defensive line help, desperate for defensive help in general, they offer the Jets a first-round pick, whether it's their own or the Packers they got, maybe the Jets budge, but that's the only trade package I can really say would be smart for the Jets to move on from Quinnen. I don't want the Jets to trade Quinnen Williams. I think it would be a mistake, because he is not replaceable. Even if you trade him for a first, you're not getting a defensive tackle to the talent of Quinnen. And yeah, you can argue he's up there in age. He's 29, 30 years old. He's past his prime, all these things. And his contract is one thing we're going to break down in this video that really makes it more interesting that the Jets could potentially be moving on for Quinnen Williams. But when it comes to the presence that he shows on that defensive line, you trade him away. Of course, the Jets are not trying to go out there and win anything in terms of making the playoffs this year, unless they do something that nobody sees coming and winning out, which I'm not predicting, of course. Trading away Quinnen sends a message to the whole locker room, and it also goes to show you that we're losing one of our captains that's been loyal to this football team, drafted here 3rd overall. He was developed into the star he is today, survived multiple coaches. I want Quinnen Williams to be part of the turnaround, hopefully, that we'll see with Aaron Glenn down the line. We don't know if that's going to happen or not. Obviously, we're 1-7, not looking super great right now. But Quinnen Williams is a type of player on and off the field that you want to represent this organization. He is a captain. He's a leader. He understands what it takes to win, and his presence alone elevates his teammates. Without Quinnen Williams up the middle, I mean, Will McDonald, Jermaine Johnson, even Harrison Phillips, the rest of the guys would not be playing as productive as they have been these last few weeks. Now, the defense has not been fantastic this season. Quinnen Williams is not dominating the NFL right now. He's not an all-pro first team this season. I don't know if he'll be a Pro Bowler. Maybe he will, but I feel like the presence alone of Quinnen Williams is so valuable because offenses, are game planning against Quinnen. We got to double team him. We got to worry about where 95 is, because if we don't worry about where 95 is and you have a one-on-one with Quinnen, he will eat you up. And he's been really good against the run this season. Hasn't really been elite against the pass as much as he was previously. But, of course, I feel like Quinnen Williams is a guy that is not replaceable. He was drafted in the top 3. You trade away Quinnen. Now, all of a sudden, the defensive line is just not good moving forward. You got 2 good edge rushers in Johnson and McDonald, but outside of that, you got an old, player in Harrison Phillips who doesn't really have a lot of longevity. Juwan Briggs, I like that trade. Michael Clemens, I'll give him some credit. He is playing better football. He is a free agent in the offseason. I wonder if that's someone that Glenn's going to want to bring back. But this defensive line right now, I would say, is good. And without Quinnen, it would become a very bad defensive line. Like, they're not great. They're not an elite defensive line unit. But Quinnen Williams is the glue, and he is the presence of this defense that you definitely do not want to ship away for nothing. If the Jets trade away Quinnen for a second-round pick and like a 5th, I think that's a slap in the face. I think that'll be a really bad decision for the New York Jets, but I don't really consider that happening. I think the Jets are smart with what they're doing. They're keeping the phones open. If a team is desperate for a defensive tackle and they're offering a first, that should be the price. If it's anything less than that, that would be a mistake. Now, the big thing with this Quinnen Williams trade, though, you have to keep in mind is, of course, the contract situation. His guaranteed money runs out after the season. So Quinnen is going to be looking for a new contract with the Jets, a restructured deal to add some guaranteed money to his contract, because guaranteed money is everything in this league. You see it across every single team. Everybody has a star player that runs out of guaranteed money, and then they're looking for a new contract. If you don't want to give me it, then you trade me or you give me the money. So the Jets got to make that decision before they go into this, trade situation. And another thing about the Quinnen Williams situation is, say the Jets do not trade him and he's on this team for the rest of the year, you could argue that there could be more value for Quinnen in the offseason. Say the Jets want to start shopping him in the offseason, and maybe they can get more out of him in the offseason if they feel like they do not want to give him that new contract that he is looking for. So there's a lot of options for the New York Jets, but based off of them trying to establish an identity in year number 1 with Aaron Glenn and Darren Mougey, I think it would not be smart to move on from him right now. You wait till the offseason, you have those negotiations with him, you try to see, of course, I would want them to give him that extension and have him here around this football team for the next 3-5 years, because, defensive tackles, they, in my opinion, are one of the only positions that you do see players play well into their young 30s. Like, you see a lot of guys around the NFL, like, we're not going to see Quinnen get 8.5, 10+ sacks anymore, but I think that his presence, he is going to be able to still be a very productive defensive tackle against the run and be that presence that I want this defense to be able to have for the next few seasons, in my opinion. I feel like trading him away would be a mistake, and noticing the report from Jordan Schultz, it definitely feels like that is what the whole mindset is with this organization, is they're not going to ship him away for nothing, but they're going to keep the phone lines open. So Jets fans, please feel free to let me know how you feel about this overall report from Jordan Schultz. Do you want the New York Jets to trade away Quinnen? There's some Jets fans I'm hearing saying he's overrated. The Jets should consider trading him. I don't want him on the team anymore. Get as much value as you possibly can. And you also got to look at it from this angle. Like, we have a brand new coaching staff and a brand new front office as well. You saw what Joe Douglas did when he came. He traded away Jamal, got 2 first-round picks for him, and he was able to build this team his way. Obviously, it did not work out, but you see a lot of GMs and head coaches, when they come to a new team, they're going to trade away their best players for good assets with the most value, and Quinnen is the most valuable player on this team right now that is tradable. Garrett's not tradable, as much as everybody wants to tell me he's trade Sauce Gardner. Not happening. So you could argue that the Jets could be going that approach, try to get as much draft capital, build this team their way, hit home runs in the draft, and build through the draft. But I don't know, man. Maybe I'm too emotionally attached to Quinnen. I don't know what it is, but you guys let me know where you stand in the comment section. Want to give a big shout out to Sleeper Picks. They are the proud sponsor of Jets Media all season long. If you guys have not checked them out by now, I don't know what you're waiting for. You get $20 free immediately when you sign up using my code JETS. That is code JETS when you sign up for Sleeper. Code is at the the top of the description. Just click that link, download the app, put the code in, make an account, and you can build a really fun parlay, win up to 100x your money. Bet responsibly, of course, folks. Terms and conditions apply. Legal in 25 states. If you stayed into the end of the video, comment down below a Jet emoji. Love to see who stays all the way into the end of these videos here on Jets Media. I'm out of here, folks. Enjoy the bye week. Enjoy football with your family, with your friends. We don't have to worry. We can soak in this winning feeling for a little bit, and then all of a sudden the trade deadline hits, and we're going to be talking some real stuff. So with that in mind, love you guys. I'm out of here, and let's go Jets.